Hey, it's Poisson Variance, your mathematical maestro and LaTeX linguist. How is everybody doing today? I hope everyone's day has been good so far. My day has been all right, pretty chill. I got to today is my day off, and yesterday was a unexpected day off because of the holiday. So I ended up being able to have a 4-day weekend. So unexpected, but welcome. I've been looking forward to a few different things. Change the music. I've been looking forward to it for a few different things. I got two different projects coming up that I'm very excited for. One probably won't go live until March. And the other should go live maybe end of February. We're still ironing that out. Why do we say ironing instead of iron? Like, cause like I think in Europe they say iron. Maybe. Iron. No, I'm thinking like Game of Thrones. They say iron. I don't know. Anyways, you're doing good. You ignore the fact that your ELA teacher assigned you an expository essay. Essays aren't so bad. Once you've done enough of them. Once you've done enough essays, then it's second nature. And depends on the type of writing. Like, I really enjoy doing technical writing. I really enjoy lab reports. I really enjoy research papers. I can't do narratives. I can't do narratives for the life of me. Look at the grad school boy, thinks he's better than us. No, I do not. No, I do not. You guys are just as good as me. And Jay, you're also in grad school. So by default, you're better than me. If that's the logic we're using. Hey Time, welcome. Ava, I like that instead of tagging, you like write out the whole username. That's great. You only can write it in class and you have 2 days left. How many words? But yeah, I guess in class. And if if you have class periods, that can be difficult, where it's like 15 minutes. Not the same as college stuffs. You're better than me, but for different reasons. Probably. I can definitely believe that. I can definitely see many people being better than me. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the essays. I can't do narratives well, and part of that is, it's funny. I was even talking with my mom about this because she's an author, and so she's doing this. She's currently writing a novel. She just finished writing a novel, and so we were talking about like expanding scenes and descriptions and whatnot, and that's something I can't do. I try to be very succinct when it comes to explanations. I don't like over explaining, or I don't know how to explain something in a creative sense. I like to be very definite. What's this stream you got it recommended randomly? We'll be doing a thing called Project Euler, which is a programming and mathematics series of challenges. 976 questions currently, although it continues to grow. We've completed about 30 of them. 31? I think 31 of them. Yeah, we've completed 31 of them. I need to update my counter. And today we're going to be going back through and looking at how other people solve them, because there's not a definite way to solve them. There's a definite answer, but there's tons of different methodologies. So we're going to be going through the other methodologies and looking through the different codes people wrote, how they did in different programming languages, and what exactly they did to solve it. Or yes, as Ava says, meowing and attempting to code. She never told us about a word count. She just don't do this, do that, and we have to somehow figure it out on the spot. Well, to be fair, that's a very real world description of how you deal with projects on the fly. Do this, do that, figure it out, and manage to only get it done during office hours. You don't get overtime. Well, you don't. That would be yeah. They'd be forced to pay you overtime if it were a career, and so instead you can only do it during your allotted hours. You continue to grow as well, Jay. Lie. You will always continue to grow. I mean, that could be in a physical sense, that could be in an emotional sense, it could be in a literal sense, it could be a mental, educational sense. The prompt is, how does someone turn a negative experience into a positive learning experience? I mean, I feel like there are tons of different ways that could be answered, because there's tons of different situations when it comes to how the negative experience reduced the negative. This is a way to think about it mathematically, I guess. How did a negative experience reduce my overall feelings? And you can flip that on its head. How can the positive version of that benefit? What's the inverse, or how did it recontextualize my other things? You can't pay you overtime, so you're just gonna fire you if you fall behind. That's high turnover rate for you. Have I seen Steins Gate? I have not seen Steins Gate. I haven't watched a lot of anime recently, but maybe explain it using a concrete proof and somehow provide a real life example. Oh. So if we let I'm gonna have to create a diagram for this. Can't provide a real life example about your life. Well, not with that attitude, Jay. Not with that attitude. I should. There are a lot of animes that people have recommended me that I should get around to reading. The problem with watching anime is that it takes, like, if an episode is 20 minutes... Hey, Prod, welcome! If an episode is 20 minutes, that's 20 minutes of my day that I could be doing other stuff, and since I watch dub, or I watch sub, not dub, and so that means it ends up taking up, like I would have to be reading it, and I couldn't be doing something else. But decide to write about Isaac Newton, the apple fell, hurt him hurtfully, but discovered gravity as a result. That's not a bad one. That's actually pretty good. A negative experience that actively taught the person something. It taught them that apples fall. Before that, everyone just thought apples floated. So I'd say that's pretty beneficial. I was gonna open up Notepad and or MS Paint and try and drop write up a proof or drop a diagram or something, but I like the fact that you already had something, so I don't have to do that. Look at me. Cutting corners, as they say. Not even cutting corners. Today, I have with me a sufficient amount of hydration. I have both water and Gatorade. You have two other body paragraphs, but you forgot what you put as your first sentence, so you can't really do home research for it. This live just popped up on your For You page. You don't know what you're doing? That's fine. Absolutely. That's actually something I've been wondering. How people are discovering... How people, discover my content. You know Project Euler from Discord? Yeah, it's where you essentially use a series of mathematical and programming principles to solve problems. And today we're going to be reviewing other solutions that people have made, or problems that we've already completed. So I can learn the different methodologies that people may have used that I may never have even seen or thought of, which is a lot because I'm a mathematician first and a programmer second. So we'll see. Good to see the stream getting recommended. Oh, yes. The fact that, yeah, it is getting recommended to people. Have a great day. I will. You as well. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's good to see that people are getting recommended it, which I would say, yeah. The fact that there is some notable level of growth. All right, next step becomes Zentrea. Just kidding. That's Kikato's goal. That is Kikato's goal, to become Zentrea. They had talked about working on a voice mod that they make purely themselves. Now, in theory, that's not too difficult if you're just doing a voice filter, but I don't know how experienced they are with programming. I seem to remember Kikato not being super experienced with programming, but I'm excited to see what they come up with. And if anything, the drive of boredom is one of the most powerful things. One of the most powerful things. 1K subs, here we come. Hopefully. In the near future, hopefully. Oh, excuse me. Hikato's going to become a well-endowed anime dragon woman? Yes. Yes, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Hikato's a what now? You heard Jay. Hikato's going to become a dragon woman with a robot voice and substantial volume in their assets. All right. I feel like I've been getting a bit better at not treading, I guess I would refer to it as treading water as much. Jumping to the point so I don't spend 45 minutes yapping and then of a 2-hour stream. Of a 2-hour stream just going because I feel like that could detract from some of the stuff that we actually have to get done. Yeah, I'll click. Yeah, that's a robot cat. That's a robot cat, not a robot dragon. Bit of a difference. And the fact that one's a cat, one's a dragon. Slight difference. But yeah, we should probably restart Eva. All right. Let me get a few. So I'll help you out after work. Or at work, regardless. Gotta hit up Z too. Your pet crocodile stepped on your keyboard. That's no good. That's no good. You're not robot M Kitty, you accidentally turned orange. Garfield. But my VTuber stream talking about mathematical proofs. More or less, yes. In this case, we're not actually going to be doing any proofs, but we are math femboy VTuber, so finger guns. Pew 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 pew. As you can tell, there's also a little bit of ADHD and a great deal of acousticism. Anyways, we're gonna look at better. Accurate, hurtful, but accurate. Okay. No, yeah. There's a whole forum for each problem. So what I kind of want to do, start at problem 1 and work our way through the first 31 problems to see what we've could improve upon. In theory, I want to understand how it all works. And some of it I won't be able to, because some of it's going to be code that's out of my field, out of my depth. But it doesn't hurt to take a look. That's true. Yeah, code is algorithms, algorithms are math, ergo, still a math stream. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So let's take a look at this. Oh, first I have to make sure that I update something real quick. The problem counter should be at 31, not 30. All right. If we... I hate you, Jay. I hate you, Jay. In theory, it seems pretty applied to me. Alright. So, this was the first one. If we list all the natural numbers below 10 that are multiples of 3 or 5, we get 3, 5, 6, and 9. The sum of these multiples is 23. Find the sum of all multiples of 3 or 5 below 1,000. I don't remember what our method was. It was probably pretty basically brute force. But let's go ahead and take a look at what other people did. Oh, it tells you the language they use. Okay, so I don't know assembly, but sure. I just want to get a good idea. And this one was a pretty simple one, where yeah, it was just a summation. So I probably just summed. And yeah, because you can do this, a lot of it, as it was described, a lot of it on a whiteboard. So, what does this mean? 5 out of, like, you can give kudos to this is funny, you can give kudos to... Interesting. Anyways. Yeah, I have no idea what any of this is. For each integer from 1 to 1,000. As someone who knows zero assembly, I will take that at face value. And I don't know PHP either. (1.5) times an integer of x minus 1. Interesting. I don't know where you're getting this 1.5, this 2.5, or this 7.5. But I'm assuming the 15 is in regards to the... Yeah, I don't know PHP, so... If we're just looking maybe at a formulaic... Ooh. I see, doesn't see. That's pretty much it. Alright. This is someone's description of how they did it without code. First of all, stop thinking on the number 1000 and turn your attention to the number 990 instead. If you solve the problem for 990, you just have to add 3, 5, 9, 96, and 999 for it to be the final answer. Count all the terms divisible by 3 from 3 to 90. I think the person used the summation formula but just made it into a language. That's what I think so too. That post was made by Euler. What? Oh, did they name themselves? Oh my god. But let's read. So, count all the divisible terms, all the terms divisible by 3. From 3 to 990, there are 330 terms. The sum is divisible. The sum is 330 times 990 plus 3 divided by 2 equals that. Count all the terms divisible by 5 from 5 to 590. There are 198. The sum divided by is 198. 990 plus 5 divided by 2. Now, the greatest common divisor of 3 and 5 is 1, so the LCM should be 15. This means that every number that divides by 15 was counted twice, and it should be done only once. Because of this, you have to have an extra set of numbers started with 15 all the way to 990 that has to be moved from B and C. Then, from 15 to 990, there are 66 terms, and the sum is 66 times 990 plus 15 divided by 2. The answer to this problem is then A plus B plus C minus D. So, and then Euler themselves popped in. Euler themselves popped in to throw their hat in the ring. We're deciding, by the way, that Euler's non-binary. This has been decided. Mathematically, Euler must be non-binary. All right. Using a clever improvisation of the formula for arithmetic progressions. For example, to find the sum of the terms 3, 6, 9, and 12, we would use n over 2 times a plus 1, where n is the number of terms, a is the first term, and 1 is the last term. Oh, that's L. But to find the last term requires a bit of work. The nth term is given by a plus n minus 1 times d, where d is the common difference. So we need to solve 3 plus 3 times n minus 1 equals, or n minus L equals 1000. Giving 3 times n minus L equals 997, and n equals 997 divided by 3 plus 1 equals 3.3333. However, n must be an integer, so the integer of that is 333. And checking, 3 plus 3 times 333 minus 1 equals 999. So this is the last term before 1000. Really funny way to do it. Of course, their non-binary decimal notation was more popular back in the day. All right, I can get behind that. Based off that logic, when computation, that's true. When computation, when binary got popular, that's when male and female were actually created as concepts. Before that, everybody was NB. Before that, everybody was NB. It was just the way it was. But in general, a plus 1 minus L times d equals x gives n equals the integer of x minus a divided by d plus 1. But for this problem, we can improve even further. As a equals d, we get n equals the integer of n over d minus d over d plus 1 equals the integer of x equals d. 999 is the last term before 1000. I know, that's a pretty innovative concept. A pretty innovative concept. We hadn't really considered this before, but it makes a lot more sense when you think about it. How much of mathematics would be sped up if we realized that the last term before a number was the number that came before it? Binary gender. Binary gender was invented by software engineers to hoard all of the knee socks. That's true. If everyone was saying, oh, you know, can't have knee socks, you're a guy, or whatnot, or women wouldn't wear those knee socks, they're too indecent, then nobody has knee socks. And it goes all to the software engineers, who people have long since forgotten was are all envy. They're all envy. Yeah, I think you're right, Ava. I think this dude did derive the summation formula. So good on doing that instead of just using it. Yeah. It's a very interesting way to go about it, which is, yeah. So if we look at that and then we just get the same sort of mentality gets done in this PHP way. The only difference comes down to if they did or did not do some of the multiplication first. Interesting. But yeah, so it seems like the consensus was summation formula was the way to go on that one. Fibonacci's. Each new term in the Fibonacci sequence is generated by adding the previous two terms. Starting with 1 and 2, the first 10 terms will be 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, and 89. By considering the terms of the Fibonacci sequence whose values do not exceed 4 million, find the sum of the even value terms. More freaking assembly. I understand C a bit better, so let's look at this. So the total, I got 0. That checks out. X and Y are 1. 2. If mod is that, Fibonacci, well, that is equal. Okay, that's... Okay, brute force. Oh! Guesstimate that you've written about 3 million lines of assembler code in your whole life. Now, code only when strictly necessary. Pop off, Rudy. The golden ratio is the approximate ratio between two consecutive terms in a Fibonacci sequence. The ratio between consecutive even terms approaches phi to the third, because each third term is even. That makes sense. I understand a little C, fluent in a assembly. What man life has this made? I have no idea. It's commendable, I guess. It's unique. Maybe it's not unique. Maybe it's more common than we realize. Okay, so the ratio between consecutive even terms approaches phi to the third, the golden ratio to the third, because each third term is even, which makes sense because if we just think about it, the third term will always be even because we're going to be summing two odd numbers. Odd number, or odd and even makes odd. Odd and odd makes even. Even and odd makes odd. Odd and even makes, or odd and even. Odd and odd makes even. Use a calculator and round the results to the nearest integer when calculating the next terms. 2, 8. What's the golden ratio off the top? I don't know that off the top of my head. 2, 8, 34 multiplied by 4.3 each time gives 144, 610, 2, 5, 8, 4, 10, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the sum is that. Cool. Ah, you didn't win the scholarship? I'm sorry to hear that, Cheese. But still, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for taking that plunge. for making that attempt. That's awesome. Still good job. Great job. I'm proud of you for putting in that effort. There will be other scholarships, so no worries. Yeah, I didn't know the two numbers in two adjacent numbers were the golden ratio. I think that's cool. And the golden ratio is 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. And the little golden ratio that people forget about is 1 minus square root 5 over 2. All right. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's cool. All right. You tried. Take that, Yoda. Exactly. You tried your best. That's what matters. Like I said, there'll be other opportunities in the future, of course. So, pop off. And so yeah, you can manually calculate those out utilizing e to the third. That's really cool. I really like, first off, using the golden ratio, and second, I like using the relationship of finding every third term. So you end up, finding these terms and then multiplying it by 4 e to the third, then you can sum it. That's awesome. Approximates the error term that goes to 0 very fast. I see. I see. My codeless regards. And someone was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And so they just went ahead. Euler themselves was back at it again to just prove it. Fibonacci. Get phi squared. Do it again to get phi cubed. Oh. Feels like it should be off by enough, but it goes to 0 fast enough that it doesn't even matter. That makes sense. Plus, I think one of the things that assists is the fact that they're rounding to nearest integers, and so that's why the approximate ratio between them is that, like you said a minute ago, error term goes to 0 fast enough. The Fibonacci sequence is, okay, let's have Johnny on MATLAB do it. The Fibonacci sequence is driven by the second order linear difference equation. F of n plus 2 equals f of n plus 1 plus f of n. With boundary conditions, f of 1 equals 1 and f of 2 equals 1. Oh my god, hi Rain! Hi Rain, how you doing? How you doing? Hope you've been doing well. I saw you're doing an SMP stream on I forget how to pronounce it. Vox Libre, I don't know. The SMP stream the other day. How is that? How you doing? I actually, funny enough, received a notification. Even though I wasn't able to catch that stream, I remember receiving notification that I had been gifted a membership on it. And I was like, I gotta make that effort to try and catch your streams. The only thing is that oftentimes your streams are in the morning for me when I'm like, right when I'm heading off to work. So I'm just like, and so I try to catch it when I can. I try to catch it when I can. With the project, we will finally answer the question, every human being mind, is math really a science? I feel like science is a derivative of math. I feel like more than anything, yeah, sine is a derivative of math. Like it only exists because you have your mathematique. Doing good. You're streaming that while working on the actual Vox Libre video. Yeah, I saw your little like teaser for that. I remember that. I'm excited for it. I have to watch that when it comes out. Oh, you're doing afternoon streams soon on Fridays. Those I will be able to catch. I gotta start. It's funny. I even have you on notifications so that I can catch those streams. And then I'm like, look, and I'm like, I'm at work. Okay. So, the Fibonacci sequence driven by the second order linear difference equation. The boundary conditions are f of 1 equals 1 and f of 2 equals 1. Thus, it can be solved exactly. As we know from practice that f of n is roughly exponential, we can try f of n equals a times a to the n. I don't like this notation. Don't do this. Don't do this. Here to learn some math. Today is primarily programming, but it's programming about math, so it counts. It counts. A squared equals a plus 1, which happens to be the equation for the golden ratio, and its inverse, which I'll denote. Okay, so they end up doing a similar thing with the golden ratio relationship. As the equation is second order, then it is a linear combination of those two solutions, and the boundary conditions define the constants involved. F of 0 equals 0, easy if you follow backwards. F of 1 equals 1. Again, so they're... Oh, hey! Look at this, Jay. Look at this, Jay. So we ended up utilizing both the golden ratio and the little golden ratio, which you had pointed out. It's inverse, where r is the positive square root of 5. As a minus b equals 2r, yielding a equals 1 over r and b equals negative 1 over r. So this is actually... Ah, okay. So this is why the golden ratio works out so well. Why do you need to note the inverse is phi as... Well, if you look at that, if you look at what you just did, Ava, that's the Unicode or the alt code or whatever for phi. That's why, because they try and enter it in the text chat, and unfortunately that means it plays out poorly. For us right now, I wonder if that's because of the post thing or maybe because I'm in Firefox. I don't know. But however this renders it is bad. So, okay, so yeah, here's this exact equation we were just talking about. X squared minus, or if you reformat this, x squared minus x minus 1, you solve that, you'll get your golden ratio, which is the same way because it's following a relatively exponential. That's cool. Instead of using phi squared, though, they use phi and the inverse of phi, yielding 1 over r, b over minus 1r. So f of n gets us phi to the n divided by r minus the inverse of phi to the n divided by r, which can turn into this. Pretend those are phis. You're no longer opera pilled? No, I switched off of opera. What was it? So there was a day, hold on a minute, I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to tell the story. Phi to the n minus phi inverse to the n, all divided by r for rn is going to get us f of n. As can be seen by the even terms are as a multiple of 3, so we add those together until you get a greater term than 1 million. This subprogram for this can be only a handful of lines. Slightly further simplification we work out. Here's where we talk about doing the golden ratio cubed. F3k equals b to the k minus b prime to the k all over r. Okay. Your head pat pill to say that. Absolutely. Ooh, we'll get to this in a second. I'm curious. Yes. Another more head pat pilled. It's what it all comes back to. It all winds back to. Should I turn on my cat ears for this? Should I turn on the cat ears now so that we can be trio of head pat pilled? Oh, the reason I'm no longer opera pilled. So I was using it one day. I tried to boot up. It boots up, it crashes. 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 I go into the folders where it's kind of caching itself. I mess with that a bit and try to boot up, and it saves none of my stuff. It boots up a new version, but it doesn't actually transfer anything. So eventually they did fix it, but then I go and I read more about all the security issues and the fact that it was like giving a bunch of ads and whatnot. And then when I had on my Linux setup, whenever I boot up Linux, it had by default wanted to use Firefox, and I learned that Firefox is one of the most secure browsers, apparently. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just transfer everything over. And it boots up instantly. It takes up way less RAM. It takes up way less RAM. And it runs miles more efficiently. Since then, I've had zero problems, whereas Opera GX was often a bit of a pain. That being said, I still have the little Poisson, the Schmopera little logo in the corner with the squares overlaying each other. Instead of squares overlaying each other, I know what I should have done. I should have done that to be a tesseract. I should have done that to be a tesseract. That would have been more fun. Firefox, yes, what is that? I forgot I had that. This is still on my thing. Okay, let me hide myself so I can put on ears real quick, because I have to do it manually. And it's embarrassing if people see me putting on my ears. So, I don't have it set up as a toggle yet. I really should. I really should set it up as a toggle. A tesseract would be awesome. It would make me so happy. I spent a good amount of time today hanging out with my sibling, and we were drawing 4D shapes. Okay, okay, boop. All right, I got my ears. I got my ears. I'm no longer embarrassed. Don't look at me while I'm changing my hair. Ah! Yeah. Okay. So, Manim, yeah. I've been having more fun screwing around with Manim. I've been messing with a bit more, yeah. And so I'm trying to get it to... I had it in a short recently where I used it to draw out Euler's or e to the x, yeah. And I've been trying to mess with it so it's I want to get more into the 3D shapes of it, yeah. And so that in and of itself is a bit more difficult, but it's just a learning curve of how much time can I spend just sitting, messing with coding, and ultimately a lot of it follows the same rules, yeah, but I just need to get good. I need to double down and practice all of it so I can understand all the ins and outs of how Manim works, yeah. But it's gonna be so. It's gonna be fun, yeah. You love the ears, thank you. your physics stuff that's prompted you to try more math. Yeah, physics is just lots of trig and vectors. Well, that's like kinematics is a lot of trig and vectors. The thing that shoots me in the foot a lot of the time about physics is creating the models. Creating the models I find to be the most difficult part, yeah, because it involves the a lot of passive forces that you have to account for in different ways, yeah. Oh my god, it's binary, just ones and zeros. I love that. I love that. We're just ones and zeros, yeah. But welcome. Welcome. Nice to meet you. Alright. So for this one, prime factors are of 1, 3, 1, 9, 5 are 5, 7, 13, and 29. What's the largest prime factor of the number 6, 0, 0, 8, 5, 1, 4, 7, 5, 1, 4, 3? So, I forget exactly what we did for this. I want to say we just factored stuff down. I want to say we just... I know this wasn't technically the birth of Ava's axiom, but I feel like it was in the vein, yeah. This music sounds so ominous. Hold on a minute. What is 0, 1? Hold on. I'm gonna answer for you, don't worry. Let's type this into binary. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. He's... Well, I accidentally put a 4 in there. Wait, why don't I just copy and paste what you wrote? Yeah, I think your axiom wasn't like problem 11, but this could have been the first... That's an interesting thing to pop out. Maybe? That's a... So apparently this is what you said, Ava. I'm gonna put it in chat. Whatever that means. You have no chance at this. It's all about the painful life of programming. Okay, let's take a look at what people said for this one. Now pronounce it. I don't think I will, yeah. Oh my god. Sieve method. The sieve method is, I remember Jay suggesting it the first time we dealt with a problem in this that dealt with primes. We focused on doing the sieve method, yeah, and it was I didn't actually know what it was, and then I ended up looking it up, and then later we decide to utilize a prime test, yeah. It's really funny that I ended up getting yeah down before I got boy down. Crazy boy. So it was so slow. That's right. That's right. That was the problem. Was using a sieve method ended up taking forever. So I think this is when we didn't call it Ava's axiom yet. We had yet to implement the greatest form of it. But we had utilized a beta test version, I guess, of our prime test when we did it. So let's look at how others did it. So we have a number. We have our divisor. Well, the number is greater than 1. Divide it, subtract it. No concept of primeness, but it finds the solution in milliseconds. Interesting, boy. So, inefficient, taking time exponentially as the largest prime factor increases, dividing multiples that have already been excluded. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. As someone who doesn't know assembly, this is... I have no idea what I'm looking at. Where's Jen? Jen knows assembly, I'm pretty sure. No, that guy's cousin. RM's RF and no preserve, no root. Or no preserve root. Okay. How do you even code an assembly? I have no idea, boy. I have no idea, boy. It's crazy. Just looking at this and I have no idea what I'm reading. Someone somewhere has to understand what they're reading. I'm very curious how somebody codes an assembly without color coding. If this is all just black and white text, or like black text. What the hell do you even do, boy? Okay. Oh, I'll click on a hyperlink. Guys, I'm on a website. Should I click on a hyperlink on a website? Do you think it is smart? Do you think it is smart? Presumably very carefully. I would hope so. You learned a little assembly in school, but you don't remember any of it? See, I never learned any assembly. I never learned any. The first time I did any programming was when I was in high school, and I did... I took a college class on, like, Intro to Python. And from that, then I did MATLAB when I was in college. Then I learned C and C++ when I was in college, but I don't really remember either. And then I shifted back to Python when I was doing research. So Python and R have been what I've been using doing research. It is an HTTPS, so I think it's good. Yeah, let's... I'm not going to click on a random link. Euler seems to appreciate it, though. That's tough. So it's C and C++, and Euler themselves likes it. Sure, I'll click on suspicious links. Oh. This is cool. Let's give this thing a try. It didn't copy that down correctly. Come on, you. Copy. Hello? Okay. 600. School thought assembly was just a few characters that mean something in numbers. You're probably wrong. I honestly have no idea. Euler seems like a chill person from how they talk. I know, you wouldn't expect it from someone from that long from that long ago, Papoy. Why am I only memorizing 2 letters at once? 75143. 75143. Let's factor it down. Wow, that is fast. What? Extreme divisors. And then is this our largest prime? Well, yeah, of course it would be our largest prime because I think I'm not stupid, right? Yeah, because we're factoring it down. That's prime. Yeah. Cool. I didn't know about that. So that works incredibly fast, arguably faster probably than our prime test. Hey, Bear. Hey, Bear. Hope you're doing well. Yes, Catfish is back, boy. Assembly is mostly manipulating computer memory, so all the commands are shifting where you are and what to do at that point. Maybe. Yeah, I am not a computer scientist, mathematician. Okay? Okay. This is suspicious. That's not suspicious at all. Never trust a winky smiley face ever. See? I can't wink. See? I mean, okay, in theory I could, but so if I ever start winking at you, stop trusting me immediately. That's a sign that I have lost control of my model. It is no longer mine. It has been stolen from me. If I start winking ever. I'm trying to punchline this joke by turning off the match blinking thing. But it's not working. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Where's parallel blinking? Come on. Are you making fun of your lazy eye? Maybe. I love that. I cannot get over the fact this model can do. The eyes make me so happy. Don't you trust me? I do not, in fact, Papoy. I'm sorry to tell you, Papoy. Blush when smiling. Oh, I can increase the amount I blush when smiling. Just like have it go right. Website did a factorization of a 75-digit number. Wow. Wow. 5 seconds. Oh, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. Right. Albina. That's all I'm gonna say. It's my best. You can't wait till you make your 3D and have all these issues. Ugh. I know. I'm scared to even touch a 3D model. I'm scared to even touch a 3D model. I imagine it would just be pure chaos. Pure chaos. Oh wait. Oh. Ah, wait. Link eye blinking when face is rotated. Never? I'm trying to... Okay, it's not working. I'll fix it one day. By fix, it's not even broken. I'm just trying to punchline my own joke. I should get back to doing this whole stream. And the stream quality will drop without me, but you have a bunch to do. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Jay, as always. Hope you have a good night. And yes, please stop forgetting the track. Please stop forgetting the cat treats, boy. All right, let's click on this suspicious solution in no language, but it is in fact in C++ or C++. I think this is C++. I don't remember. I still don't really know the difference between the two, because visually they look very similar to me, but whatever. I digress. Okay. So include stdio.h, math.h, voice crack. Okay, that was embarrassing. Define n. It's interesting they're defining n as a different number than I had in my question, but define divisible. The remainder. Largest prime factor of okay, double MCP3. I don't know what that means. Oh, that the function here. See, I don't know this well enough. Return divisible, divide by 2. Okay, so it's all pretty much doing the same thing, as I understand it. Spelled always wrong. But you have this number, you mod it, and then if it's you plug in your function, if it's prime, if it's not prime. Okay, more or less the same what we've been going through. In summary, Ava's axiom works great. Ava's axiom, it checks if it's prime, and then we factor it down. Alright. A palindromic number reads the same both ways. The largest palindrome made from a product of 2-digit numbers is 9009, equals 91 times 99. Find the largest palindrome made from a product of 3 numbers. I don't remember how we did this one. I could look, but I don't feel like doing that right now. Then I would have to open up my Jupyter notebooks. And that seems like a lot of effort. Let's check out. Oh no, this person brute forced an assembly, and I'm like, okay, I was gonna check and see what their brute force was to see how I compared, but goodbye, catfish. Hope your day was good. Have an amazing stream as always, Popley. Thank you so much, Popley. Have a good day too, Bear. I hope to see that artwork one day. I'm very excited. You brute force this one with Desmos? That's right. Worked backwards. Isn't the solution like 800 and something? Like I know the actual product was 90696 or 906609 was the number. I forget how we did it. Let's look at brute forcing with assembly. Wow, I don't know what any of that means. Okay, let's not look at that again. Okay, that's scary, boy. In Ruby, I've never used Ruby. Am I thinking of something else? Is which one's the one that's for like largely used? I want to say for like making robots do stuff. Is it Ruby? I have a saved image somewhere of a book that I thought was interesting, and I want to say it was Ruby, but where it's like you use it to make robots move. But boy, I don't know. So max is 0. From 1 up to 99. The product is that. Next product, if the product is that. Oh, if the product's equal to product reverse, then we're good. Okay. From just 100 up to 99. I guess. Ruby was the anime those guys in Texas made. Ruby is a shiny thing. No idea what you're talking about. And your mom's new dog is... Okay, so we have the 3 different things. 3 different things it could be. An anime, a rock... Or sorry, an anime, a shiny thing, or a dog. Did you say dog? Ah! Yeah, I'm scared. Yeah, probably. I don't know what this is. J is a program. I had no idea J was a programming language, but if you had to describe J in one phrase, it would be... that? You didn't know your mom was a web developer? Oh, is that what Ruby's for? Is Ruby web? Is Ruby web-based? Maybe am I thinking something else? And I think of like Arduino Is Arduino or whatever it's called? Is that the robot movement one? How do you read that? I have no idea. Like, I don't even know where to start. Well, you start at the beginning. Let's start at the first set of parentheses. All right, so if we look in this first set of parentheses, I give up. Your mom's a rainbow factory because both her kids turned out great. That's an awesome description, my boy. Oh my god, I love that so much. And all your kids, when all your kids are LGBTQ, your mom's a rainbow factory. That's great. I just realized a while ago I was like, oh, this music feels like too dark or depressing, and then I never actually changed it. I promise I don't have ADHD. I just forget to do things right after I say them. What should we listen to now? Ambient music recommendations. Ambient music recommendations. My thought is maybe Oblivion. Personally, I am partial to Shin Megami Tensei, but that's just me. I'll do Oblivion, I guess. Oblivion's always enjoyable. Okay. Ruby's most commonly used for web development. Okay, then I'll believe your mom being a Rainbow Factory web developer. Your mom gave out all the gay websites. You do that while drawing, put a song on repeat 2 hours later, you find the answer, so why is the song still playing? Exactly. Exactly. I end up doing that, yeah, with, it's funny, how I end up winding down is just reading a bunch of manga before bed. I don't watch anime much, but I do read a lot of manga. And what I end up doing is I'll put on ambient music from something like Skyrim, Oblivion, or Silent Hill. Soulsborne, SMT, and then I'll be reading, and then the music will end. I was like, wait, I was still listening to this? Which I guess means it succeeded in being ambient. It became a part of my world. New programming language named AVA, or Ava. Tell me exactly what that does, Ava, and then we'll talk. I'll start using it for everything. HTML was used for web development? I have no idea. That's the one bit of web development I ever used was the basics of HTML that I do not remember because I was required to do it for a course. Brute force in Python. Is this what we did? I feel like a lot of the early ones we brute forced. I feel like a lot of the early ones we brute forced. I want to double check now. Wait, these are all... None of these are the right Jupyter notebooks. Oh wow, that's... Your code does whatever you feel like you want it to do. So this is just... Is your code actually just you on the other side of the screen? Someone types something and you just type back whatever you feel like typing, and that's the supposed output? That's a very black box method if I've ever heard of one. Ah! Model freeze. Model freeze. You're about to debut your programming language beta. It's just ones and zeros. Ah, ooh, oh, come on. Come on, me. Come on, me. You exist? Wow. Okay, exist again. Head pat-based programming language. That makes sense for being called beta. You solved the Riemann hypothesis, BB6, collapse conjecture, odd number, perfect number, and everything else you could think of. What's the answer to the Riemann hypothesis then? I've been trying to get around to finding the answer to that. What was the answer to that then? According to this Ava programming language. Oh, HTML is front end, and Ruby is back end. Okay. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. I can see what message you just deleted. 1 second. Oh. All ages stream. With headbands, Yeah. Answer is 42. You're right, Danny. Okay. So I'm taking a look at the problem we did, and we were able to limit it by saying that our palindromes would have to be, or we assumed that our palindromes would be in between 900,000 and 100,000, and that did speed up the process, but to an extent, it was more or less brute forced. It was reduced, but brute forced, which I'm not proud of, but deleted a typo. It's false counterexample. Sorry. It's let's see if the dang. I was hoping on stream it would show up as not being censored. It's running on your PC at all times. It takes up all of your available RAM to just send headbats. They use the J and K languages. Ooh, let's see it written in Java. Brute force. Brute force. So it seems like a bunch of these answers are just brute force methods. Oh, here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I'm looking for. Pen and paper. Pen and paper. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Rain. Yes. Self-care. Love thyself, as it were. Thanks for stopping by, Pupley. Counterexample was inspired by the Unis. None of that. None of that, Ava. None of that. Okay, let's try this. Or let's look at this. Pen and paper. So we have a number. 100A plus 10B plus C equals 100D plus 10E plus F. So in other words, we're getting our 100th place, our 10th place, and our 1's place, and times that. Which is a palindrome. Or in a palindrome, it factors out to this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this. Assuming the first digit is 9, then CEF must be equal to 9. Oh wait, do I have a... I don't have it set up. I was like, I wanna send your emote. I wanted to send your emote as a response. Because I have it now, because I have a membership. Heck. I'll do it next time, don't worry. Next time I'm in your chat, I will barrage you with special hearts. Okay. Factors out. Assuming the first digit is 9, then CF must be equal to 9. Do they mean CD? So assuming, okay, let's look at this again. So assuming the first digit is 9, then CF must be equal to 9. A and D must also be equal to 9. The only ways to make the last digit of the product of two integers 9 would be if those integers were either 1 and 9, 3 and 3, or 7 and 7. So both numbers must start with 9, end with either 1, 3, or 7, or 9, and one of them must be divisible by 11. The only numbers divisible by 11, from 900 to 1000, are 902, 913, 924, 935, 946, 957, 968, 979, 990. You can discard all those that don't end in 1, 3, 7, or 9. Therefore, you're left with 913, 957, and 979. So now, the presumed answer is any of these. These of X. Okay. Factoring all these out, you get this. Now for the first digit, 8244 plus to be 9, X must be 9. If X were 8, then that would give us that. Then the first digit's 8. So you have 913 times 993, which is the answer. You can factor out the ones you do to see if they produce a bigger answer, which they don't. Interesting. Oops. This is a cool way to do it. You have a number. It's a palindrome. Then you compute it all out. The way it's separated here is throwing me off a bit, but I think they just did that to keep it in the different places. So it works. I wasn't touching my mouse, and it just scrolled up on its own. What? My hands are both on my knees right now, and... Guys, I think my computer's haunted. Assume the first digit's 9, then CF must be equal to 9. Oh, yes, because if the first digit is 9, then the last digit must be 9. So CF is 9, AD is 9. Checks out. Both A and D must be equal to 9. So what Oh, that's true. I think. Why? So I think what they're doing, they're using a bit of just like logic. And logic has no place in math. No, a bit of just like flat logic to figure out why you're limiting yourself to certain values. Your girlfriend knows what... Oh my god. It's a programming language called J, which essentially lets you do mathy stuff without a ton of libraries. Is it time to learn J? Is it time to learn J-Public? Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Python. E++ solution. I don't know about you, but that don't share out with me. They're using facts and logic. I know, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. I really don't feel comfortable with that. Your cat Euler when you know cat treats. It's time to J. It's time to J. Yes. I'm gonna start. Yeah, that's what tomorrow's gonna be. Tomorrow's gonna be a stream all about programming in J. We're gonna make an entire project just in J. That's, you know what, gonna solve the Riemann hypothesis. Why not, probably? They brute forced it in Haskell. Or in Ruby. Why does it say Haskell? Maybe that's their favorite language to use. I think so. I'm pretty sure I said that my favorite language to use was Python, and so... Ooh, scary. Okay. Did I ever log? I don't know if I ever logged like what specific language I tend to use. I feel like that was a part of your account. Making your account is saying what language is it about working on. Where can you learn J online? I don't know. Learn J programming language. I immediately found something that was last revised in 2015. That is an entire free book on how to learn the basics of J. Oh, this is horrible. I love it. Hold on a minute. Look at this absolute wonderful mess. Look at this absolute wonderful mess. Okay, basic introduction. This hurts my eyes, but whatever. It's not like I have a migraine or something. General appreciation of the J language. So basics, listing tables, functions, building arrays. You have to read a book, unfortunately, yes. But it's a quote-unquote book. So... hate to love it or love to hate it. Bit of column A, bit of column B, except that's actually bit of vector A, bit of vector B. I'm not sure if I'll love it or not, but I'm very curious how what is meant to even do this. Wait. The built-in function computes the prime factors of a given number. There's a straight up find prime factors of a given number button. There's just a find prime factors button. Okay, finds the roots of polynomials, generates prime numbers. Now wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Is J actually goated? Is J actually... oh my god, yeah. Is J actually goated, boy? We're doing the rest of Project Euler and J. This is a cheat code? This is actually cheat code. This is actually cheat code. I cast prime, find prime factors. Literally, boy. This is crazy. One just has to know what the hell they're looking at. And then we can do anything. Okay. Well, now I'm curious. If I make a new file, text file, select the language, is J on here? There's Java, JSON, Julia. Oh, I don't just see J itself. This is a travesty. Let's check on the extensions. There is a J language support in the extensions. We might be in business. It's time to master the arcane arts. I mean, it just might be time to do exactly that, because... cheat code! You can't find any good info if J is fast, but it can be a little better than Python at times. As we get higher, and as long as we stop brute forcing, I'm hoping that won't become too much of a problem, but... We'll have to keep that in mind then. Alright, what was even this problem? 2520 is the smallest number that can be divided. Alright. I need to stand up real quick, so I'm going to turn my sitting desk into a standing desk. One second. Raising. 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 And I need to adjust my microphone. Apologies for the noise. Okay. Oh, that feels much better. Why is it so dark in my room? If stuck, learn J, else be gay. Great rhyme, probably. Alright, 2520 is the smallest number that can be divided by each of the numbers from 1 to 10 without any remainder. Oh my god. What is the smallest positive number that is evenly divisible by all of the numbers from 1 to 20? Reference, how did we do this? Oh yeah, this one took like 2 seconds. The LCM of 1 to 20 is equal to the absolute value. No, there's just a... There's just a command. There was just a 2-second command that I did that was, we have the numbers from 1 to 20, find the LCM of them all. It was just built into the math function. Alright, well I guess we'll skip that one. That was just find the LCM of 1 to 20, and then we did just that. Okay. So that's time saving. Okay, I'm not gonna bother with that one then. LCM of 1, 2, 3 to 20 world record. Yeah, but there's literally a button that I could just type math LCM. Boop. Except you don't even have to type it like that. You just do. What we did was nums equals a list of num for num in range of 1 to 21, LCM of star nums, and that does the LCM of all the terms. Or across all the terms. Okay, next problem then. Sum square difference. The sum of squares of the first 10 natural numbers is 1 squared plus 2 squared plus blah, 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 blah. Okay. The square of the sum of the first 10 natural numbers is 1 plus 2 plus blah, 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 to 10 squared equals 55 squared. The difference between the sum of squares of the first 10 naturals and the square of the sum is 2640. Find the difference between the sum of squares of the first 100 natural numbers and the square of the sum. I want to say our method for this was pretty simple. It was just we ended up just calculating it because that's a very fast calculation. But this one I am curious if there was a mathematical way to do this. Brute force, because bitrate. As I'm going through these, I'm seeing the same usernames, and I'm like realizing, okay, this person always does brute force, but boy. Johnny always uses MATLAB, per boy. Oh. Alright, here's the mathematical formulation. Yeah. Yeah, and then you just plug it in, and then you're done. Okay, yeah, no, that's smart. There's that formula. There's that formula. And then you're done. Okay. Easy does it. Some of these are a bit less intensive than others. Yeah, you can do it manually. Use summation formula for the script. Yeah, exactly. Ugh. What is the 10,001st prime? At our primes, full length is less than that. Oh, we just... What did we do? We started out with a prime. Well, the length of the primes was less than or equal to 10,000. And then we just checked. We didn't even use is prime, but if we'd used is prime, that would have... Well, wouldn't have really saved us time, because we would have done the same thing. Okay, it works out. Again, just using our prime function. But I'm interested in killing my cat boy, so let's see. That seems cheap to look at prime pages. Oh, I can just Google. That's not figuring it out though. Like the first 10,000 primes. Like this feels like cheating. That feels like cheating. Ooh, the variables are in Swedish. Okay, they did the same thing. By allocation, some memory of your 10,000 and first primes, and storing them as you find them, you can test every odd number after the last calculated prime against all previous calculated primes that are below the square root of n for the number you are testing. Even with the moderate computer, as I was able to calculate the first 1,000,000 times in 20 seconds with this method. Yeah, so I guess that's where the our is prime function. I think we end up manually counting instead of just counting odd numbers. Counting odd numbers would have saved us time. We did an n+1 there. We could have done n+2. We were starting at 3. And then we just check that because the... Yeah. Yeah, that would have saved us time. Interesting. Not even that interesting. Just... I'm curious. Hold on. I'm going to run the code again. I'm going to see how fast it takes to find the 10,000 and first prime. .7 seconds. Meh. Could be better. Could definitely be better, probably. Okay. Let's shift back over. Using a sieve algorithm, I can find primes under 1,000 in 0.4 seconds. Print your code. Give me your code. Plus equals 2. Yeah, same sort of thing. 1.5 seconds. Oh, actually, that's a good idea. Let's see. Hold on. So it was previously 5.7 seconds, but we weren't using our copyrighted or patented, not copyrighted, patented Ava's axiom. Let's find this sucker. Ava's axiom is prime. Here we go. You know, just if I don't even need to do that. It's just so what we ended up doing previously in our old code is ours checked against all of our previous primes instead of no, I think that is an efficient way to do it. I don't actually know. I'm curious. Prime and primes. If m prime divided by a prime equals that. But couldn't I just check if that's... I can delete that. And then really it's just... if n, or if is prime of n, and then we just append it to primes. What do you mean it's not defined? It's literally defined. You're just stupid. All right. So the way we had originally done it, as I previously stated, took 5.7 seconds. Probably even a bit more actually, boy. I made a slight appendant so it was counting. So it probably took closer to maybe 8 seconds. The other version, so 8 seconds, and then we changed it to add 2 instead of add 1 each time, so that we're only testing odd numbers after discounting 2, and then we tested odd numbers. 5.7 seconds. using Ava's axiom, our little is prime function, 0.1 seconds. Ava's axiom does it again. Well done, well played. So I'd say that methodology, pretty solid. Pretty solid. Oh, this one. Yeah, I am speed. You actually were. You actually were. So, a round of applause for Ava Papoy. I guess a round of head pats for Ava Papoy. I still applauded, but, you know, shut up. The 4 adjacent digits in the 1,000 digit number that have the greatest product are 9 times 9 times 8 times 9 equals 5832. Find the 13 adjacent digits in the 1,000 digit number that have the greatest product. What did we do for this one? We just ended up counting these all out. A length 13 window. Ran over it. Not sure. And we just took the product across the 13th window and then took the maximum of it. How long did that take to run? Find out. Not even a countable amount of time. Okay, I'd consider that one valid. And I think it's because we were utilizing functions for a lot of these, and that helped people that have already made the computations that'll go crazy fast. So use built-in stuff to do it. That'll always speed things up. Don't reinvent the wheel. And I think there's validity in that. I think in some sense, reinventing the wheel is good, but in another sense, use the tools you're given as long as you understand them. So, I am going to be honest, I'm finding myself getting quite hungry. I know we only went through 8 of these problems. We did a lot of yapping, as we do, Papoy. But I think I might call it actually about half an hour early, 20 minutes early, so I can go and stuff my face. I ate lunch before stream, and then I'm like, I could eat. I could eat again. As is often the case, I am somewhat of a void in that regards. Anyways, but boy, I have been, so I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a study stream. Don't know what I'm going to do for it. I'll think of that while I'm eating. Anyways, I've been Poisson Variance, your math lover game. No, wait. Wait. I still, even now, I slip back into my old outro. Anyways, I've been Poisson Variance, your mathematical maestro and LaTeX linguist. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time, and bye-bye.